This is legitimately scary. Home run deal by the Houston Rockets. They land Kevin Durant. Durant on the Rockets is a perfect fit. And guys, I absolutely love this move for the Houston Rockets. I think this was a perfect trade for them. They didn't give up too much. They get Kevin Durant, who is still playing at the peak of his powers. This move makes the Houston Rockets championship contenders. I'm going to talk about it. Smash a like on the video. Smash that subscribe button. The Houston Rockets are about to go off as they trade away Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, the number 10 pick in the 2025 NBA draft, and 5 second-round picks for Kevin Durant. So when you look at this deal, I know people are saying the Rockets traded away a 23-year-old who's got potential. I was out on Jalen Green. We saw his struggles in that series against the Warriors. Super inconsistent. For as talented as he is, you never know what you're going to get for him. I don't think he's going to develop into a superstar type player. Jalen Green, I wish this guy the best in Phoenix, but I just always thought he was overrated, and I just don't think that he was going to pan out to being the guy that the Rockets were hoping that he was going to be. And the fact that the Rockets largely keep their young core intact and you're only giving up Jalen Green here. They didn't give up Thompson, they didn't give up Eason, they didn't give up Whitmore, they didn't give up Shepherd. So that was huge. The fact that the Rockets were only able to give up one young guy in this deal. Dillon Brooks is going to hurt. Of course, he changed the culture, but the Rockets needed an upgrade at that small forward position, and they get that and then some with Kevin Durant. I mean, I'm swapping Dillon Brooks for Kevin Durant any day of the week. The number 10 pick, I don't think is going to hurt you too much. And then 5 second-round picks. I think the Houston Rockets won this trade. They didn't give up too much. Their future's still intact. They still have all those great, young, intriguing pieces in town. And now you're getting a 15-time All-Star and a ticket to title contention, because that's what Kevin Durant means for this team. The Houston Rockets defense is not going to fall off drastically. People forget Kevin Durant is an underrated defender. He can guard all positions. You know, he's got great length. He's an underrated shot blocker. So the defense is still going to be intact, whereas the offense is going to be a major upgrade on this team. I mean, Kevin Durant is instantly going to fix this team's half-court scoring issues. We saw it. For as good as the Rockets were on the defensive side of the ball, their offense was stagnant. They were really missing that offensive firepower. And if they had a guy like Durant, they beat the Warriors. And they probably end up in the Western Conference Finals. So they really needed KD. And I really love how balanced their starting lineup is and how good it looks. I mean, you're going to have Fred VanVleet, who you keep, by the way. And I think that's ultra important here. You didn't want to part ways with a point guard who does so much for culture building and who's won a championship. Then you're going to have Amen Thompson, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith Jr., who I think he's going to just become such a better basketball player under the Kevin Durant learning tree. And then you got Elfrid Şengün. Like, that is a great five. That is a well-balanced five. Perfect blend of offense, defense, guys who complement each other. And then people are talking about the bench and the depth. You're still going to have Aaron Holiday from off the bench, Reed Shepherd, who is now going to have an increased role. And I think Reed Shepherd's really going to thrive with getting the increased minutes. Same with a guy like Cam Whitmore, who's also going to step in now. I love the fact that the Rockets are able to keep Shepherd and Whitmore in a deal like this. I think both those guys are going to really develop nicely. You got Tari Eason from the bench still. We know how deadly he is of a defender. And then Steven Adams, who, by the way, is going to be reunited with Kevin Durant. Remember, those two played with each other on OKC, so I think that's an underrated part of this deal as well. So you look at Durant, he's instantly going to make this team a much better offensive team. Durant, he is still maybe the best mid-range scorer in the world. He shot 43% from three last season. So the three-pointers that you lose in Brooks is instantly going to be replenished, and then some with Durant. Durant also played 62 and 75 games over the last 2 seasons. So, you know, he has been able to stay healthy. And I think that's the biggest thing here. It's health. Kevin Durant, he's turning 37 years old before the next season. But if this Rockets team stays healthy, and if Kevin Durant stays healthy, this team's going to be as advertised, because now Houston has an elite coach, they still have an elite defense, and they have an elite superstar scorer. And they really look to be in prime position to take the next step. And again, I love this deal because they didn't compromise really any of its core future plans or assets. I feel like this team was out on Jalen Green. So the fact that they get Durant without breaking their bank or future, this is an amazing deal for them. And they are officially in play now for winning a championship. And I think, Şengün, who's one of the most uniquely gifted players, like, he's going to benefit playing with KD. Amen Thompson, we're going to see his evolution. He's going to take a big step this season. The Rockets, they got it all now. They have the pieces. They were just lacking that one guy, that offensive weapon, and they have it now in Kevin Durant. So Durant joins a team that, again, was the second seed in the Western Conference. They lost in the first round, but I think he can very well be the missing piece. He's an all-time isolation scorer in an offense that likes to isolate. They were 9th in frequency last season, but the Rockets weren't very good at it. They were 27th in points per possession last season. So this is just a perfect situation for Durant, and I think it's a perfect situation for Durant to rewrite his legacy. I mean, this isn't a super team by any means. It's not a stacked team with stars. This is just a really good situation where they're missing one good player. They're missing one great scorer, and they have it in Durant. Durant can be the guy to lead this team to a championship, and he can shut down the naysayers who say that Durant can't lead a team, that he can only win playing with a stacked roster, playing with stars. And in this situation, he's got a great chance of doing that, of leading this team and making good with what they have. So I really love the Houston Rockets, how they look. I mean, on paper, they're a championship contender. Again, the big if with this team is health, but if they stay healthy, if Kevin Durant stays healthy, there's no doubt in my mind the Houston Rockets won't be a part of that championship contending conversation. Kevin Durant is what they needed. This is who I said they needed as soon as they bowed out in the first round of the playoffs. The Rockets get the deal done for Durant at a very good price, and this is just a win-win all around. So a lot of exciting times in Houston. I know it's bittersweet. A lot of people who are fans of, a guy in Dylan Brooks who did help reshape things here in Houston. Of course, Jalen Green, but sometimes you got to pay the price if you want to win a championship, and I think this is the move that puts the Houston Rockets over the top. So KD, he's in a perfect situation, and remember, he's got familiarity too with Ime Udoka. I believe Ime Udoka was a bench coach for the Nets while KD was there. So this is the perfect coach for a guy who is looking to win a title to end his career, and KD, he is on that expiring deal. But, maybe the Rockets can work something out where he does stay there to close out his career. But he's in Houston. Great defense. Great coach. And now that offense is going to get a serious boost with Kevin Durant, the future Hall of Famer, joining the mix. So I think the Rockets are about to boom. Let me know your thoughts, guys. How do you see the Rockets now stacking up in the West after making this trade for Durant? Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, plus ring the bell. That's it for me, Luke signing off. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you all again in the next one.